Hi, this is Kristen Colfer, and I'm here to show you the Drama After Dark look. I know I had you guys vote last week to see which one I would do on Friday, but I just decided they were both such gorgeous looks that I'd go ahead and do it. This is page 15 in the catalog. You can also find on the maryhay.com YouTube channel a quick demo, but of course, this is me, and I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to get my lighting as about even as possible, and it's just like I've got incandescent and I've got fluorescent, and so I'm a little weirdly lit, but I'll do my best. I have a nice big mirror this time. And I've already put my base face on. I've drawn my eyebrows with pencil and the eyebrow gel so that I have full eyebrows. And I'm just going to start with using our little mini brush set. I know it's hard to see with virtual background. And I'm going to go ahead and start with I believe it's the all over color brush. They have slightly different names with these little guys. So I want to make sure I'm getting the names right. I'm actually going to use the blender because the other one has a little bit of a darker color on it. Plus that eyeshadow brush is firmer. And I really want to get this light color in the all over the eyebrow. It's called Biscotti. So I'm using this palette. Don't mind the mirror. There we go. I have to just figure out where to hold it. And then in my crease, I will use hazelnut. In the brow bone and inner corner, I'm going to use moonstone, which is a little shinier. This is the more sparkly tan one here. I can't win. It's a slightly lighter tan one here. And then finally, I will be using espresso in the lash line with Shy Blush on my cheek, glazed as a highlighting color, and I will use latte as my contour. Finally, I mentioned earlier the Precision Brow Liner and Vitalizing Brow Tint. I will be using a lip liner of Berry and Berry Famous Lipstick. And last but not least, I still like to use liquid eyeliner. This is the new waterproof one. So that will be the finish of the look. And this should take a few minutes, not a ridiculous long time. So pardon me as I look at my mirror and nod at you. I'll try to keep this quick. These are the Chroma Fusion colors. They don't need primer, but you can still use eye primer. I don't see any harm in that. Anything that makes it easier to wash off later and helps your colors look brighter and more vibrant. There is a trick of spraying your brush with finishing spray before touching it to the eyeshadow. But if you got to do multiple passes with a brush, you might want to not get it too wet because these are synthetic and they're not really designed to be used wet, but you know, you get the idea. So this is a light, bright color. You can see how light it is. And as I said, I'm going to hang on to that brush for the other light color. And I'm going to use this thing for my crease because it's similar to a crease brush in that it's narrower. And I'm going to just go in here in the corner, kind of emphasizing where my eye folds, right there. Go back to the other eye, make sure it's all nice and balanced. I like to put a little in the corner, outside corner, just because I personally have deep set eyes and I need to be able to see the color. And if it's only in the crease, I don't get to see as much of it. Similar problem people have with hooded eyelids where the color disappears. So I like to put a little bit, just enough in the corner so I know I put it on. I can see a contrast. So we got that going on in the corner. We got the Scotty across the top. And now I'm going to go back with the moonstone and it says inner corner and brow bone. So that's going to be right here and then right along the top here. It's a little sparkly, not as matte as the first two colors. And I will blend these. It's not like I'm just going to leave them like that, but you want to get an idea of the lightest color goes along the brow bone and then your darker color kind of goes along the crease. And we still have that regular light color along the main part of your eyelid. So the drama probably comes from when you put on the espresso along your lash line. Now it talks about using the all over shadow brush. So I'll go back with the one I used for hazelnut in a minute, but I'm going to use the teeny tiny detail brush here because that's what comes in the brush kit and literally mimic an eyeliner. Going about halfway across, like so. I will also do the under eye area. Now, remind you, I'm doing this on the lash line, but not in the well of my eye. We don't want to put product in my eyeball. It's just meant to be to emphasize the lashes, sans mascara. Now, of course, it wants me to use Lash Love. I'm going to use Lash Love Fanorama. A couple of subtle changes, but otherwise, it is the same. It's just the product is better now. And I personally like that, the way it applies better. So as you can see, it's light in here, dark along the lash line. For some reason, I see on this model, it really seems like they went a little more drama in the inner corner. So I think I'm going to go back and kind of brush back into the front of the eyelid area with the moonstone. So we get a little more shimmer going on. Not a ton, but just a little bit more. And as you know, I have dark circles under my eyes, so I did put concealer on. One trick I've learned is to take something like moonstone and brush a little of it under the eye. Don't mix it up with the black, or should I say brown espresso, but just give a little bit of brightness and shimmer. This is meant to be like, you know, end of the day, not necessarily a late night party look, but it'll look good on Zoom. The idea is that you don't want shadows. So now I'm going to move into the cheek color, and I'll go back to the eyeliner and mascara in a minute. I just want to make sure I get these in, trying to keep this as timely as possible. So what they were telling me about the cheek color is for the main part of your cheek, right where the apple of the cheek is, and I always do from temple to the nose, about 2 fingers away, and downward strokes. And then I can go back and do like the highlighting color and the contouring color. Now the contouring goes kind of in that shallow of your cheek, and I like to use the shorter bristles here for a dark color, and they recommended latte. So just here, I do the pucker just so I can find it. And I will be blending this. I won't leave myself looking like I've got a dirty stripe on my cheek. But it does make you look a little thinner. You could even contour around here. You can contour down on your chin. So if you're trying to get that slightly less COVID-19 pound look, you can kind of give yourself a little bit of a hint of a shadow. You can even do that on the side of your nose a little bit. Smaller brush would be better, of course. And sometimes people do it along the temples here. Anywhere where you would normally see a slight indentation. It makes a big difference overall, in my opinion. And lastly, I use the long end of the bristles for that highlighting color, and it wants to go just above the cheek color. Then I'm going to blend. So you can just use the main part of the brush to blend off the look. Take 1 second to do a quick finishing spray before we forget. And now we're going to do eyeliner, mascara, and lip color. I like a little eyeliner. That's just me. You don't have to do this step, but this has got such a fine point. It's like drawing with a Sharpie. So I do kind of the equivalent of a little dotted line. I'm not pulling. I'm just putting my finger here, by the way. I just have this habit. I need to see, and I don't want to blink. And when I put my finger there, I'm less apt to blink and close my eye. It may just be a reflex, but you're not supposed to put things in your eye. So it's a natural thing to not want to put something in your eye. And I think it keeps me from pulling if I know I'm just going to place it there. I use a lash primer. That's just me. So almost done. I mean, I would say that's overall, I'm explaining as I go, so it takes longer to explain something. But this is pretty. Now you have to see this. It's a little tricky though with this whole virtual background. So I'm going to use my face as your contrast. See how it's kind of got a little bit of a dimple, but when you rotate it goes flat. Use the dimple side first and go through your lashes, just gently comb, get the mascara on, wiggle if you must. Some people do it vertically. I'm not as good that way. And since this is my mascara, I'm using the wand. The disposable ones do not have this shape. So that is something. You need to get the actual mascara. You can't be just using samples. And I don't think they make samples of this. This is limited edition. So then we rotate it so you get the flat side and you go back over for another pass to really give it a good coating. And sometimes the lashes get stuck together, which is why it's got a rounded end, which allows you to kind of fan and separate, hence fanorama. It gets you the effect of the false lashes, but without the thickness of the lash intensity we had a few years ago. I wouldn't say it's 10 times the volume, but it's up there. It's definitely more volume than I would have if I just put on Lash Love or no mascara. Don't those look cute? Aw, I thought so. And last but not least, I know I could have done lips first, but I'm talking, it's challenging. So they talk about using a lip liner to keep your lipstick from bleeding. Some people do the whole lip, others don't. I'm going to do slightly larger on the upper lip and slightly smaller on the lower lip because I feel like my lower lip is bigger. And I feel like this kind of balances it out. Now, before you freak out, keep in mind, this color is meant to match my lip tone and kind of the color of lipstick I would be using. This is a lipstick. It's bold, but it works with this lip liner. So bear with me a second. You could use a lip brush to apply this, and I would strongly recommend that, especially if you've already exfoliated and then use lip balm or lip primer is actually better on your lips. And I always go over just a little bit. Never quite get my lineup just right, but I like it. I think this is beautiful. I think it would look great on most skin tones. Might look even better on a darker skin tone than me because obviously I've got my floodlight on here. Let me dim that down a little for you. I think that's very nice. So that is your Drama After Dark look. I can always post, I posted the image, but I can always post a list of the products and stuff later. And if you have any questions about brushes or application tips, I'm always available to help you. But I want to make sure you're ready for your holiday party. Even if it is a holiday Zoom, you would want to make sure you looked absolutely fabulous just in time. And as you saw, it did not take a lot of effort to get there. And oops, I got to touch up a little spot there. That's what happens when you're wearing a mask. You get maskne. The good news is we can treat that too. I hope you had fun. If you want to shop, I have a special coming up, and I'll post that at 3. I'll attempt to go live. I'm going to just put the pre-recorded part up first because I've been having some internet connectivity issues, and I wanted to be sure you got to see this. Bye.